Welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you're returning. I realized that last time I did a video, I did it on RPG horror stories and not, got that backwards, on a page called D&D horror stories and not RPG horror stories, which is fine, but the D&D one tells you whether the person is a player or a game master, whereas the RPG horror stories tells you the actual length of the story, so I think that's a bit more helpful for me. And yeah, just thank you for checking out my videos. I'm going to be doing another RPG type horror story reading, and I have some plans for future content, like I got one of the D&D books, Mordekainen Presents Monsters of the Multiverse, so that'll be pretty fun. I'm thinking about doing like maybe weekly reviews of monsters from that book. But the reason I'm doing a short RPG horror story today is I just wanted to test out the new video editing app that I downloaded for my phone and see if it's better than the last one. And I also decided that I'm gonna get back to doing gaming live streams. I know not a lot of people watch them, but you know, they're easy to do, they're fun for me, so whatever. But this time I'm gonna try to like pick a game and then like play that game to the end, and then I'll move on to another game instead of just doing like sporadic videos of different games. So yeah, that'll be pretty fun. And let's check out some horror stories, yeah? This one is called Creeper Just Wants to Creep. Following the trend of LARP horror stories, that's live action roleplay if you don't know. Yeah, I saw a whole lot about LARP on this page. I guess it's a popular thing to make the horror stories about now, but whatever. Either way. I've been a member of one of Ontario's oldest, but not the biggest, LARPs for about 20 years, so I've seen a bit of cringe, but this one took the cake. I'm going to adjust my brightness here so I can read a little better. This guy, who I shall henceforth refer to as Creep, showed up as a new player to an event. He'd read the rulebook, put some thought into a character, and had an idea about what he wanted to play. Well, thought's always nice, you know. I've sometimes just made characters and jumped right in without even knowing what I was doing. Or really what class I was playing. But he hadn't actually made his character sheet. As a bit of a min-maxer at the game, I enjoyed helping others build fun-to-play characters, so I happily help new players to get started. I know there's a negative stereotype about those who min-max. I mean, it depends on how you do it, really. But keep in mind that when you LARP, you're there for the whole day in case our weekend, Jesus, in character. And how you roleplay is detached from what's on your sheet. A lot of new players generally don't come back after their first game unless it's satisfying to play. If they don't know what's good or fun to take skill-wise, they can end up having very little fun over the course of a weekend and just not come back, giving them every advantage from the start means they can have fun in all aspects of the game, and since we allow a free rebuild on your second event, they can change it later. Well, that's nice. I've never been a part of any larping groups, so I just don't know the general like vibe of that situation. Doop 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 doo. Where was I? Creep had a general idea of what he wanted to play. He wanted to be a hedonist of sorts. Well, that should have been your first red flag if you wanted to act out being a hedonist. He really wanted to exude sexuality and try to flirt with everyone. This set off red flags immediately with me. Oh, well, I spoke too soon. It did set off the flags, alright. But I tried to be open-minded. He may not have understood the difference between tabletop and LARP, where all the PCs and NPCs are real people. Okay. But then the character design went dark. Creep started asking if there were mind control effects in the game. Oh no. We had two, dominate and enslavement. They both work much the same way, except enslavement is harder to cure and is permanent until cured. Both effects are only on NPCs, but wait. Players do not have permission to access them for obvious reasons, and they're only allowed with special GM permission. Okay, I was gonna say, if they're only usable on NPCs, that's still real people playing NPCs. That's still... Yeah, I think mind control and LARPing is just something that should be cut out if that's the game you're going for. They're only allowed with special GM permission. We don't want to take away player agency without good narrative reason and limitations. My own character had been enslaved by a werebear for over a year, unnoticed by other PCs. It was supposed to be a spy in the town, for example. Oh, his character, the poster's character. And I had a blast with it. Well, that's nice. I told Creep about the effects, but clearly laid out the players had no access to them, hoping he would get the hint that no, you can't mind control players. He seemed bothered by this and kept pestering me as to how he could access him. I kept telling him that it's plot only, so it's something he could try for in-game, but he would never get enslavements, and only very unlikely would he ever see dominates. 10-minute duration, cured by low-level spells instantly. Undeterred, he started asking about other mind-affecting effects. Players do have access to sleep spells, feeble mind, very typical wizard-style D&D spells to take out opponents. They last 10 minutes, get cured easily, and they're there as combat takeouts. Yeah, but with a creepy guy trying to, yeah, not so much, I don't think. But he had other ideas. Yep, I bet he did. He really liked the idea of using takeouts to have his way with people, men and women, and wanted to build his character around getting said spells. Yeah. Well, this person should be disallowed from the group. Suffice to say that as soon as the conversation went in that direction, I told him in no uncertain terms that if he tried anything like that, he wouldn't be welcome back. We don't tolerate that sort of thing, and no one is going to pretend to be asleep or a drooling moron for 10 minutes while they roleplay skeeving on them. I left it at that and walked away, unwilling to help him further. As far as I know, he played for like a day out of the weekend, then left. I think his flirtatious character got shot down too much for him, and without any magical compulsion to make anyone fall for him, and as a starting character, he really didn't have the level for a lot of the takeouts, he gave up and left. Good riddance and bullet dodged. Yeah. Like, that is, just disgusting disgusting freaking behavior. And yeah, that's just foul. Say it should be reported, but you can't really do anything about that. This is what. Alright, now I'm moving on to some comments. Alright, oof, this is why enchantment is truly the most evil school of magic instead of necromancy. Yeah, that's true. Like, enchantment is literally all mind control, which when I first started playing the game, I thought it was all about, like, enchanting items and stuff, which I was like, hey, that's cool. But no, it's all mind control, which is pretty evil because it bends the wills of others, whereas necromancy is communing with spirits and shit, basically. Also, all resurrection spells are freaking necromancies, so, like, they can be good. They save a life several times. Why do unfuckable sex pests actively seek out nerd spaces? It's very annoying. Yep, that is true. At one of the game shops I used to play in, there was a guy with a bit of a furry fetish, and he kept trying to, like, make all of his characters like his furry anime waifus, and was, like, very obnoxious. And he had an extreme body odor, which was, like, the largest issue. Even the shopkeep had to tell him that, like, if he didn't start actively showering and putting on deodorant, he wouldn't be allowed back because there were so many complaints. Do. I'm not reading that one. Okay, well, we're done with this post. I think I've been going on for a little bit. So I'm going to try to find a really short one, and then I'm going to be done. As we're doing LARP horror. Yeah, why is LARP horror the October theme? I don't really understand that. Here's why I decided to never LARP outdoors in the UK again. We're LARPing in Wales, where the weather is either glorious or absolutely chucking it down. You know, I've never been anywhere but the US. I'd like to travel a bit. Maybe I'll see Wales one day. I was separated from my friends as the siling rain turned to flooding, into a tent with a group whose first language wasn't English, but they seemed nice. Until it was discovered I knew all the verse words to Queen's We Will Rock You. Okay. All LARP was abandoned, and I spent an afternoon, a whole evening, and into the next morning being forced into singing it to them while they just clapped along and did the chorus again and again and again. I mean, you could have just said no. Also, why'd you tell him you knew all the words to the song? Like, I feel like that's partially on you. If you're trying to play a game and people ask you to perform for them, just say no, man. Or, make them pay you. Get a quick buck out of it. Let's see what the comments have to say. Did you get mud on your face? Oh, shit. But did they rock you? Let's see. Trapped by poor weather and forced into an uncertain group of non-English speakers in Wales to the point where you couldn't even rest? I hope you didn't eat any of the food. How many years had passed when you returned? Did you agree to any verbal contracts? Did they say anything that might translate to demands of ownership over your firstborn child, your dearest memory, or your final breath? I get it, Faye jokes. See, next comment says, what a big disgrace. This is great. I don't see the problem here. Wow, this person has responded to all of these comments, and I haven't read any of his responses. Nor am I going to bother to. Buddier young man. Here we go. Here's someone that, Alright. Here's someone who's on my page. I like having people on my page. These stories crack me up. Same. How were you forced to sing for hours and hours? Exactly. So many of these stories are about people's poor boundaries seriously hindering their ability to make decisions for themselves. Yeah, if you just said no, like no is almost universal. Almost any language has like a version of no. And a lot of the times it just is no, in German it's nein, in Swedish it's nay. Like, no's pretty easy to throw out there. I don't know any other languages, I'm sorry. Alright, well, I am done with the horror stories for today. Let me know how this video shows up after I edit it a little bit. And, yeah. Tune in to my live stream that I'm going to be planning to do of Fallout 4. That should be pretty fun. And thanks for watching. Have a good day. Like, subscribe, comment any and all feedback you have. That'd be pretty helpful. And yep, see you later.